everyone, welcome to my Google Summer of Code 2025 project presentation. My project is titled Improve Audit Logging in OpenMRS. My name is Njidda Salifu and I was mentored by Wikum Wirakuti and Manoj Ranaprina under the OpenMRS organization. In today's presentation, we're going to discuss what is audit logging, why it matters in healthcare, how OpenMRS integrate with OpenMRS of Code 2025, what next, and live demo. For the context, audit logging in digital system is like a digital fingerprint that captures who did what, when, and how in a system. And in healthcare, this level of traceability is not optional, but it is essential. Whether it is a diagnosis being added or a prescription being updated, every action must be auditable, and these logs are what protect patients and providers, ensuring accountability, safety, and compliance across the entire system. In OpenMRS, from platform 2.7.0, OpenMRS was integrated for keeping track of entity changes and storing the logs in the database. However, despite these logs are existing, there was no way to view them in the UI or access them externally through an API to manage them. And this is where my project steps in, to build a user-facing audit log viewer and added REST endpoints to expose those logs with filters, sorting, and pagination, making the audit data accessible and manageable by interested parties. With that, over the summer, I set out to make OpenMRS audit logs more than just backend data. I wanted to make them truly usable, so I built a complete UI for browsing logs with features like filtering, sorting, and pagination. And I also exposed the logs over REST endpoints for external system. I used Java, Spring, JSP, Hibernate, OpenMRS SDK to build this system. And what's coming next? At this point, the module is fully functional and ready for deployment. However, there's always room for improvement, and this the focus now is increasing test coverage, refining the UI based on feedback, and validating it through real-world use case. And also, read audit was scoped out of this GSoC, but it as a follow-up project to make audit logging in OpenMRS truly complete. Hence, the project continues with that. And with that said, let me show you how this works in action. Let us look at a demo. I have an OpenMRS instance running here, and I've deployed my audit login module. So you access it through the administration interface and view audit login. So you are greeted by the audit logs table where you see or the revision of all the entities changed in the database. Like you can see the revision ID, the entity type, change on, which is the date, and then the revision type, that's modification, creation, or deletion. And we can search here, like we are interested to see the log changes that have been done by a user called Dr. Salifu, maybe on the patient entity. So I can see that. I can see now just one patient was modified. Now I can see this was record added, and I can see the old value and the current value. And that is it for the overview of the UI. Let us go to the endpoint. So I have a REST endpoint, which also when you query it with the audit logs, you get a light version of all the entity changes in the database, and they are paginated. So you can see as it is displayed here, and the same endpoint can be queried with filters like the entity type. So when you are interested, maybe for example, with just changes that happen to the patient entity, or the user that has changed some record on the patient, you can query the patient entity to see the actual changes. And that is it for the presentation. And I would like to thank you for watching. Thanks to Google Summer of Code, thanks to OpenMRS community, thanks to GSoC administrators, and special thanks to my mentors, Wikum and Manoj. Thank you all, and see you next time.